me just find my share. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session on sports and events management. I'm Dr. Anne Cameron. I'll be your tour guide for the day. Just bear with me while I find my slide set. There we are. Share that one. Okay. So what I'm going to go through with you today is an overview of the sports and event management courses and the opportunities for work and employment after you complete the course. Do feel free to just ask me any questions if there's anything you would like to know or anything you'd like me to go into more detail about during the session. I've got about 20 minutes to share with you, and then we've got plenty of time to answer questions at the end. So the courses are developed with industry. Event management is kind of the broader, more general course. Sports business management specifically looks at sporting events and the management of sports clubs. So it's all the business off-field side of the sports industry. So it's setting you up to manage those types of events. So event management course is accredited with the Chartered Management Institute, and you get, if you complete your degree successfully, you also get a level 5 diploma from them. The head of events at the NEC, which is the major event venue in Birmingham, is really involved with our course and really keen to help our students grow and develop. We're also part of the Association of Event Venues, and we have our in-house student-run event agency. Beyond the NEC, we have links to multiple other venues around Birmingham, as well as some links to venues in London, which gives you this opportunity to do a year-long placement. We get you out visiting venues, going behind the scenes, as well as having guest speakers come in on a regular basis. We're always posting opportunities. So there's a Padlet that you can access that's got volunteer placement and work experience opportunities. You also get a lot of opportunities we get a lot of opportunities coming through for employment as well once you're finished. As I say, for our sport business management course, we've got links to Edgbaston and to the Birmingham City Football Club Foundation, which is the community engagement arm of the club. Again, you've got plenty of opportunities for placement and site visits. We've got projects coming in and quite often have live clients as part of our assignment. So you're not just writing a theoretical assignment. We've actually got someone like Warwickshire Cricket or West Bromwich Albion who've actually got a business problem that fits with what you're studying that they'd like you to work on. The sports students equally have opportunities to the Padlet for work experience and placement opportunities. We've got a fairly small team of staff. What makes event management and sport business management special is that the classes are about 35 students and you get to work with the same group of teaching staff each year. So, for instance, my colleague Talent has just finished teaching the first year students on sport business management, and she'll be teaching them one of their modules in second year as well. So you get the same familiar faces, we get to know you, you get to know us, which is a bit different from some of the bigger courses. As I say, as well as our accreditations to the Chartered Management Institute, which gives you your certificate in leadership and management. We're also members of the Association of Event Venues And we are also members of the Association of Event Management Educators as well, which means that we're learning all the time. So your course is always growing and developing and keeping up with the best of both industry and education practice throughout the time. Let me find my slides again. There are lots of opportunities to go out and get real-world experience through the course of your degree. The event management students in their second year have an invitation to this amazing event out at NEC called Events Week Live. This, as I say, is designed by the head of events at NEC, and she literally takes a group of students behind the scenes for the pack-in, build and launch of Crufts, the major dog show, which is one of the biggest UK events. And the students actually get to go behind the scenes and see what goes into creating this. And they also get to walk around and critique the event. On the Friday, not only the event management, but all the sports business management students as well get invited to a major networking event. So this is with venues, with event promoters. One of our students met the director of Live Nation, who quite often comes to the networking event, and she was able to go and work on major festivals and events through the summer of between second and third year. The other thing is the top 10 students from the week are offered a mentorship in an area they're interested in by one of the senior managers from the NEC, which gives you additional opportunities to go behind the scenes, to see concerts being set up, to see conferences, trade shows, whatever area you're interested in. If you are one of the best students in that week, you'll get that opportunity to see additional areas of that area of interest. The other thing we do with both our sports and events students is we take you out to a venue, and working with the venue staff, we basically create a crisis that you as event managers, final years, and sports business managers get to manage and address. So this year we went out to Alexander Stadium, which hosted the Commonwealth Games in 2022. And the simulation scenario that we ran was co-designed with a British Army bomb disposal expert. So our students basically had to handle a protest and then a bomb threat on the venue, and how were they going to work with the guests. We had the policing students join us this year, so they ran through what their process and protocols would be. As you can see, the students really enjoyed it. They learned a lot, so they understood things like having clear roles, improving their communication skills, and it's an opportunity to learn to keep calm in a controlled environment before you have to do it for real. Let me just test. I didn't check this, so never work with children, animals or technology.
So we had the pleasure of doing the Event Week Live programme delivered by Michelle Baldwick. She has given us a tour around the NEC, including the Vox venue, which we're currently at today, and the resort arena, which has been really good.
We actually got to see the last day of build at Crufts, and then we actually got to go around and see how it transformed from Wednesday, the last day of build, to the full setup and the show in action.
So the thing I've found most useful so far is definitely like looking at the different concepts that they use, the spreadsheets, the floor plans, just to bring it together to make the final product.
So far, we've spoken to the MD, the Managing Director of the NEC. We learned some great stuff from him. We've also spoke to the Marketing Director. She was very knowledgeable, delivered a great presentation about like the key aspects of marketing, what the NEC does in particular. Been really helpful. We'll take it forward with us, definitely.
So as you can see, we do a lot of what's called experiential learning. You're not just sitting in a classroom hearing someone like me go blah, 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 blah. You actually get to get hands-on and do things. As I say, what's really unique in our event management program is that we have our Empower Event Agency, which is run by the students. This includes a number of paid work opportunities, creating events for clients excuse me, currently within BCU, but we're looking at starting to work with some of the incubator clients at Steamhouse and other external clients. So we've done things like put on a themed VIP dinner. We ran both the undergraduate and postgraduate awards evenings. We've put on networking events. So you receive training as part of this on your basic event skills and get to demonstrate them in action. So it gives you a real opportunity to practice what you're learning. We also have our live event experience module, which allows students to work with a team, create an event, and then put that event on. These events are run to raise funds for charity, so you're contributing to the community as part of your learning as well. So the students who are starting in September this year, this is the current setup of the course. Both of the courses have a very similar first year where you get a really solid business toolkit. So you come out understanding basic human resource management, basic marketing, basic finance concepts. You also get an employability module to help you start building your CV, setting up your LinkedIn profile, all those good things, as well as a specialist event, a couple of event modules if you're doing event management, a couple of sports business management modules if you're doing sports business. Year 2, the degrees start to move away from each other. So as a second year, you'll do, if you're an event student, you'll look at event technology, you'll do a personal development module, you'll look at sustainability and business within sustainability. As I say, you get to do live events. Then you do a research methods project, which gets you ready for your final year dissertation and your venue design and supply chain. If you would like to go out and do a year's work experience, a year's placement, that comes in between your second and third year. You do have to find your own placement, but we have lots of contacts to help introduce you to people, and our Careers Plus team also run lots of sessions on how best to tailor your CV to get that placement you're looking for. Your final year is very much about strategy and the strategic elements. So you look at the managing the emotions and immersion for your guests and your employees. You look at your selling and sales skills. We look at corporate social responsibility and safety management. And then you do your dissertation as well through the full year. And then a choice of optional modules. Just a quick note, not every module runs every optional module runs every year, but at least 2 of these run each year. As I say, sports, the first year is very much the same. Second year, you start digging into building marketing communications, looking at how to capture and engage fans and consumer behavior, looking at sports analytics, all those lovely people who keep track of how their football team is trending. Will give you even more tools to do that. You look at managing sports venues, and then you have your employability and dissertation preparation modules. Again, option for a placement year. Then you get very strategic, looking at both overall management direction and marketing strategy, looking at law and corporate social responsibility, and then you have your optional modules as well as your dissertation. We have got new versions of courses starting in September 2026. They are very similar, a little bit more focus on entrepreneurship and AI and data analytics. For sports, we've added in a little bit more on player representation, on sponsorship and social media usage, to line people up a bit more for those types of roles. So That's your learning, but the important thing for all of us is, okay, but can I get a job afterwards? The answer to which is yes. There is a whole lot of work out there for sports and events people. And if you get to the end of your degree and decide that this wasn't actually for you, you've got a very solid business toolkit. So you've got good project management skills, good logistics management skills, good understanding of marketing and sales. So as I say, we make sure through the time you're studying with us that we're going out on field trips, that we're doing things like mock interviews, mock assessment centres, that you've got all these volunteering opportunities, as well as the ability to join things like the study abroad program that the university runs. We're always bringing in guest speakers to share industry knowledge, but also to give you contacts as you move through your studies. So this is a map of all the different places that our students are working. This is everything from event managers to sports venue managers to sponsorship management to logistics. Got a couple of students who've moved out. One is now working in real estate. One is working for a project management company. Another is actually one of my sports business students is now managing a gym, which she is loving. So there are lots of opportunities out there within the events and sports industry, plus you've got solid abilities to go into other roles. The placement's very much about getting you prepared. So for example, Shannon, who worked in the organisation for the Commonwealth Games when it was here in Birmingham in 2022. They actually asked her to stay on for a year to run one of the venues, and she oversaw all the planning and coordination and delivery of the events at those venues. Alicia spent her placement year at Disney. She worked on Avatar: The Way of Water and The Little Mermaid live action premiere, which she really loved. She's now was working as a conference coordinator for an event management company. She's now moved to the NEC to work in their conferencing division and is doing very well. This is Daisy, who's spent a year out at BMW. She's a sports student. So she's now working within sports marketing and is doing very well. Moving on to some of our graduates, this is Tom, who spent his placement year at Birmingham City Football Club and is now the business development manager for the Birmingham City Football Academy, which is the kind of training program that brings young players through, trains them up, develops them ready to move into the club. So Tom's getting to meet all sorts of amazing people, do all sorts of amazing work. And this is Poppy, who's an event management student, but she's just spent the last 2 years working for an event company that specializes in automotive clients. So she worked with Jaguar Land Rover, Porsche, Ferrari, setting up their car shows, their displays, traveling around Europe to go to events, to work with clients. She did actually get not to drive that Ferrari she's standing next to, but she actually got taken out on the track by one of the professional drivers, which she said is one of the best experiences of her life. She came back to talk to our students about what's involved in putting together a stand for a car company at a major car show. So that's our bottom photo. She's now moved on to an incentives company. So she was in the Caribbean last time I talked to her because she designs these team building experiences for the clients, and then she often goes with them to run the actual events. Likewise, now this is terrible. My student's name has just escaped me. As I say, she has moved from her sports management degree and notes that the leadership and management skills that she learned, particularly in third year, have really allowed her to work effectively as a gym manager and being able to work with her team and deliver experiences for their members. This is Charlie, who worked on Eurovision when it came to Liverpool. So she's also come back to talk to our students about what's involved in running a mega event like Eurovision when it was done on very short notice. She's having amazing time. And that's about where I wanted to be, a little bit longer. Let me stop sharing my screen. Does anyone have any questions or information they would like?